see how we go through the bus stop at the end here. Maybe a slight lift. Whoa! Hey going everyone, Nick here, and we are in rFactor 2 today. I know I've been playing a lot of Automobilista 2 recently, but I was looking through the comments and it seems like a lot of people have jumped from rFactor 2 into AMS 2, and that got me thinking, well, what's rFactor 2 like? I have heard some mixed opinions about this game, namely around the user interface and some of the setup, and just the clunkiness in general, and in particular the load times around just getting into a race. On the positive side though, I do hear that the force feedback is incredible and the driving and AI are fantastic. So will that outweigh the negatives of the UI that I hear about? We will have to find out, but let's get stuck in and see what happens. Okay, so we're here on the main menu, setting up a race. Now, I have bought some content for this game. It does have some content, you know, like it gives you more than iRacing gives you as a start. But I wasn't a huge fan of some of the cars and tracks that were on offer, and I really wanted to try the GT3 cars, so I bought that pack, which I think was around $40 Australian, so not cheap, but it does come with a fair few cars. And I also bought Spa as a circuit to drive, because that's, you know, one of the greatest circuits out there, so I thought we need to try that. So I wanted to get into a race in single player, just against some AI. Now I have actually tested this before, so it is preset, but I think, you know, the first thing that, you know, was really alarming to me, after I had to install and update all of the content in the game, I really have a pet peeve against games that have in-game updates. Like if you're on Steam, just use Steam to do your updates. It's the same with like Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. You have to open the game, you know, you might be like, yeah, I want to get into a race, only to open the game and there's about 60 things that have to update. So that was a bit of a drag to start, and it took a fair while to update, but we finally got that all done, and now I want to get into a race. So I've already selected the options I want, but if you look at some of the menu options, you have to, like, it looks swish and all, but you have to really filter all the way back to all tracks and then scroll across this bar to choose a track, and it's kind of hard to work out what you want. I think a list view here would be a lot better and a lot more usable. But look, you know, I suppose they wanted to make this look a little bit fancier than just a plain boring list, but at the same time, don't sacrifice functionality just for that. I think this game did have a UI update recently in December, I think it was, of last year, which, you know, probably fixed some things. Maybe it made some things worse, I don't know. This is really the first couple of times I've played the game. But look, I wasn't hugely impressed with that. But look, we're going to select Spa. Then you get to select what format you want, so I'm just going to choose the standard one. Then you get put back to here. Now I want to choose a car, and it filters directly all the way down to Porsche by default. It doesn't go all the way back to the all cars list. And again, you have the same menu system, which is, you know, look, it's not the worst, but it's also not the best either. I would like to have just an option, maybe just a grid on the screen of all of the manufacturers, and just choose one and go into the car I want. But choose Porsche, and then you're going to click select. Then it gives you the car options. There is only one, the 911 GT3R. You select that, and then it lets you customize it if you want to change liveries, etc. Down the bottom here. But we'll just select that for now. Alright. Now we've made all of our settings changes and such. We're going to hit race, and we're going to see how long it takes to load into the game. So we'll be back in a moment, and I'll let you know how that went. Okay, so we made it through the loading boss. And it took 58 seconds to load from when I hit race to when we got to this screen, which is the pre-race screen in the game. Look, the first time I ran this, which was yesterday, it was a lot longer than that. It was about 1:40 for the first time load, so I have a feeling it probably caches some of that, and it's probably a lot better, you know, the next time round when you load in again. So definitely some improvement there over what I experienced yesterday. So look, we're going to get stuck into a race, and just to see how this game feels, because I really want to know what this force feedback is all about, and see, you know, how it goes. So we're going to do 4 laps around Spa in the Porsche GT3 R, and I think I got my settings right. It wasn't too bad to get, you know, like the force feedback settings and the wheel config done. I thought it was going to be a bit complicated. I started to get race room vibes when I first got to that screen, and I was a bit apprehensive, but like it wasn't too bad at all. And I'm just using the Fanatec recommended settings as well for my DD1 base, and using the McLaren GT3 V2 rim. So let's get stuck into the race and see how we go. Okay, here we go. First race in rFactor 2. Let's see what happens. Whoop, bit of a shaky start there. Already lost some positions. We've fallen all the way to the back of the pack already. Let's see if we can make that back with a bit of aggressive driving, as is typical. Whoa, hello. Whoa, okay. Can already tell the force feedback's quite aggressive there. But that's okay. Oh, okay, alright. Well, okay, so there was a really good effect on the force feedback when I lifted through Eau Rouge there, which I haven't felt in any other game. It went quite soft, quite floaty. That was interesting. I don't know what to think of that. Let's do a bit of late braking. Oh, AI, quite aggressive. But also, seem like they don't brake way too early like they do in Automobilista 2. I hear that, you know, the AI is one of the best parts of this game. And it seems like I can see why. The AI at the moment is only on about 85, I think, so quite low. I didn't want to go too high from the get-go in case I just got dominated. But oh, I think they can definitely go faster through there though. But it seems really good. Oh, hard on the brakes there, come on. Sound also sounds fairly good. Not quite to the level of something like ACC, I don't think. But definitely better than some other games. And we have managed to gain some positions back, so we're in 7th now out of 13. See how we go through the bus stop at the end here. Maybe a slight lift. Oh, oh no! We didn't even make it to the bus stop. Alright, well, let's get her around and we'll try and recover from that mess. Alright, so there is definitely a fairly sharp limit of grip when you come off the throttle through there. I didn't go to plan. Oh well. Oh good, it reads out your lap times. And it sounds like the announcer from like Daytona, USA or Sega Rally. That's great. Alright, come on Nick, let's not make a fool of ourselves here. We're trying to do something good here with this race. Now something to note about that crash is that I absolutely felt the loss of grip. Obviously I just didn't correct it in time, but it was extremely noticeable in the force feedback, which was really good. I just need to learn how to drive, I think. We're catching up the pack a bit now. Maybe we can get some positions back and redeem ourselves from that abysmal lap. Oh, come on guys, you can be a bit faster through there. Oh, I had to force him out a bit there. But so far, in my first 1.5 laps around Spa, I think the game feels really good. And in all honesty, seems quite accessible as well. Like, I'm not the best driver, out there, that's for damn sure. If you've watched any of my other videos, you definitely know. But this, wasn't too aggressive. The grass doesn't throw you 100,000 miles if you clip it, like in iRacing. Steering is quite manageable. AI makes sense, which is good. So I think, once you get past... Alright, we actually made it through that time. Once you get past a lot of the annoyances with the UI and the somewhat slow loading times, I think this has definitely got potential to be something really good. It's just a shame that the community is so non-existent, I guess. Like, there's a lot of people that play this probably offline. I think if you wanted to get any sort of multiplayer online, you'd have to join a club or a league of some description. Because I just don't think you'd find any regular races if you wanted to just jump in and play. But see if we can get this next position back here as well. Oh no! Just hit a bit wide here. I have to give it back. Couldn't make that stick. But we've definitely got more pace than this guy. I reckon we can get past him. If he stops closing the door on me. Come on, mate, let's go. Be faster on the throttle out of the turn there than him. Alright, back to 10th place. Can we squeeze it in? Oh, yes. Oh, that might have been a bit... I don't know. It made that stick. I didn't think the brakes were going to hold up there for a second. Oh, we're coming for you now, cars. Bit of a slide there. There's so much detail in the force feedback. You can really feel when even the slightest bit of grip is being lost, and I really like that. I wish more sim racing games had that sort of fidelity in the force feedback. I mean, it probably helps as well that I'm on a direct drive wheelbase. I haven't tried this on like any belt-driven or gear-driven wheelbases. But so far, that's I know everyone says it, but I think the highlight here is definitely the force feedback and the force effect intensity on the curbing and things like that as well. Quite good. The next question to answer though is whether or not this is worth your money. And you need to buy the game, and that costs, I don't know, it's about 35 Australian dollars. You can do the conversion on that yourself on the Steam store. And then if you want extra content, you can either buy car packs, or you can get into things that are on the Steam Workshop, and also track packs and individual tracks as well. So it's not just a once-off purchase unless you're happy with the base content. So all up to get the game, plus Spa, plus the GT3 car pack, was about 100 Australian dollars. Now, is it worth it for something like that? If you're a really big fan of good force feedback, and the way that the cars feel and the handling aspects, which you should, because that's what sim racing, it's one of the main components of driving, then maybe it is. If you were looking for something that's just GT3, I don't know, for the money, maybe I'd say just stick with this ACC, Assetto Corsa Competizione, as that's really an all-in-one package for all things GT3, GT4 as well. It has a lot more content just out of the box, plus some affordable DLC. So I think you need to think of it that way. It is quite limited out of the box rFactor 2. So you may want to look elsewhere if you drive very certain types of cars, particularly GT3. Alright, getting around. Always tricky, the bus stop there. And that's it, we finished. 4th position. Not a bad recovery after we managed to roll the bloody car. But look, I'm quite impressed with the actual racing content in this. It feels good. It looks good enough, and I don't think anything else comes close in terms of those things. Alright, well, let's get out of the car and we'll give a bit of a recap. Okay, so, as I said, there's a lot going on here, and it's the first time I've really, jumped into the game. You can't really give a definitive answer on the game after, just a couple of races and some experience. But look, I can give my first impressions, and that's that once you're in the race, it's fantastic. It feels great. The force feedback is great. The AI makes sense. It doesn't, brake randomly on some corners, too early and then go fast on others. It seems consistent in that way. Yes, it's expensive to get some of the car packs, but once you do, I think if you were, regularly involved with playing the game, it would be definitely worth it. But look, the negatives in the UI, that's just a mess. I don't understand why people can't get that right. There's been other games that have done it a lot better. Even if you copy it a little bit, I don't think anyone cares as long as it works and is efficient. That's one negative thing, but maybe they're improving that over time. I think they're listening to people's feedback on it and so forth. So we'll have to wait and see if that gets any better. The addition of Steam Workshop content, that's another bonus in this game. And the load times, that was pretty slow. Luckily that improved the second time I loaded the circuit. So but still over 50 seconds to load the game. For something as basic as an AI race around Spa, I don't think it should take that long. And my PC specs aren't exactly low tier. So look, overall, would I recommend it? If you're really looking for an experience in driving over the content, yes. If you specialize in something like GT3, I'd say go for Assetto Corsa Competizione instead, because that's more of a complete package with more things out of the box. And if you're looking for multiplayer racing, I'd say iRacing or ACC over this, because unless you're willing to join a league and really look for people who are in the same time zone as you or whatever, doing the same races that you want to do, I don't think it's going to be hugely accessible. But overall, I'm not disappointed in my purchase. I think it's got a lot to offer, and I definitely will be trying this more on the channel as well, so look out for more videos. And look, I know a lot of you guys who have watched my videos play rFactor 2 as well. So if you have like car track combinations that you like to do, or if you have league races that you'd like to share that maybe I could jump into to give that a go, let me know in the comments, because I'm really interested to know more about this game. I gave my 2 cents on it based on what I've experienced now, but I think there's a lot more to offer, and I think I need to really understand more about it before I can make a final call. But look, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. It's been a bit of a dive into rFactor 2, and I'm glad I did try it. But if you enjoyed it, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you didn't like the video, you can dislike it as well and leave some constructive feedback. That's always welcome. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, which may be rFactor 2, it may be AMS 2, it may be ACC, maybe we'll do ACC. We've done the GT3 Porsche in AMS 2 and rFactor 2 now. Maybe we can try it in ACC. Who knows? We'll see. But look, until the next one, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.